It is official. The Buccaneers have finally got good news to talk about an offseason transaction. We have won as fans, and a big, massive chess piece has been resolved for this season and next season in 2027. We have all been waiting for this news to hit, and it finally did. And it is not involving a trade. It is an extension with one of our franchise legends, Vita Vea. Welcome back to Buccaneers Digest, everyone. I'm Sebastian, your host. I am thrilled to be making this video and not like, oh, trade to the Bills, trade to whoever. Like, no, he is in Tampa. He's staying for 2 years. Well, this year and next year. We are going to get to see Bane, David Walker, Yaya, Cansey, and Vita all together on the same defensive line and wrecking shop. It is going to be beautiful, and everyone and the vibes have already just been tremendously improved. Listen, we went into this offseason with the Baker thing, the Vita thing happening basically around like the same week. It was at the same time, and we were like, oh, this sucks. Like, this has been like the most miserable Bucs offseason in a long time. Now, things are a little bit different. Obviously, the Baker situation has not been resolved yet, but at this, maybe it will be. This tells me probably not. Probably not until next offseason, where we're either franchise tagging him or letting him test the market. But if we let him test the market, my guess is he goes to a different team. So, but that's a different conversation. The conversation now is we have Vita Vea. He is going to be playing. His hold-in with the team is ending officially, and we're going to get to see him playing along. I don't know if he's going to play in the preseason at all, and I don't think he should, but we will see him now practicing in training camp, and he will be ready to face the Bengals in week 1. Let's go. This is what we needed. The defense would be broken without Vita Vea, and now we don't have to worry about that for 2026 and 2027. And with that being said, join me in the hype. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers by the time that week 1 hits with the Bengals. Cannot wait. I mean, the anticipation is growing. It's going to be amazing. Let's just jump into this thing, okay? So, yes, Adam Schefter was the first one to report. Vita Vea is staying with the Buccaneers as they extended with him. The two agreed on a 1-year extension for $30 million total, tying him to Tampa for 2026 and 2027. He gets $6 million in new money for this year, a $6 million pay raise. That is just basically them saying, yes, you deserve to be paid as one of the top defensive tackles in the league. That puts him about $24 million for this season. Fair enough. And then that means he will be receiving $24 million for next season. So it's two $24 million seasons. Awesome. That works for me. I totally get it. And they said that talks between Vea's agent and the Bucs heated up last night, Tuesday night, and resulted in the agreement today. Everyone is very, very excited. The hold-in is just, no longer a thing. He's with the team. He seems to be happy, and he got what he wanted. And the Bucs got what they wanted as well, not having to tie themselves to Vita long term. I mean, listen, when you have defensive tackles going into their 30s, he's going to be 31 this year, 32 next season. Year 30 or not year 33, but when Vita turns 33, obviously we still want him to be here, but this is going to be years 9 and 10 for Vita in Tampa Bay. So it's like we just don't know what year 11 is going to be in store for him. I hope he continues to be great. Guys, the reason why this is so exciting is because I think now with Lavonte retired, Vita Vea is the most underrated player on our team. I think that, you could argue for Godwin maybe. I think people, just considering all the injuries that Godwin has had, and having to just rehab and stuff like that, it's less so of a talking point. Bucs fans, well, we'll always go to bat for CG. It's not the same for Vita. Vita gets disrespected because he should be in top 5, maybe even top 3 defensive tackle talks, and doesn't get framed the way he should be, where we remember how we all felt when we were devastated when we lost Vita in that Bears game in the 2020 season, the Super Bowl season, and we somehow made it to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl when we got Vita back. I think it was for the NFC Championship game just a little bit, and we got to play a lot more heavily in the Super Bowl. But there was zero chance that we were competing for the playoffs without Vita Vea this year. And he knows that. He knows his value, and he deserves to get paid so. But, boy, is this a relief to say the least. Jenna Lane said, or she reported on Todd Bowles saying, I've never been comfortable playing without Vita Vea at this time. His status, it's finally, things heated up on Tuesday night, and they got it done. It says Jordan Schultz actually reported that the Bears and Bills were amongst the teams that were interested in trading for Vita, and the Bucs literally were just like not taking calls. I mean, like we'd probably be like, okay, like why are you calling me? You want to trade for Vita Vea? Click. Like that's probably what the conversation, consisted of. And I mean, I love it. $24 million a year for Vita feels super fair. And it's not just like, oh, what you're going to do for us. It's what he has done. He has been a franchise staple for us. He's been with us since the alarm clock jerseys. We drafted him in 2018 for those who kind of forgot. Number 12 overall. I remember when we drafted him, and I didn't know who he was. And I was like, okay, like I guess, but then I had no idea how crucial he was going to be to this team. Getting this kind of nose tackle in the NFL changes everything. And if we have a legit pass rush with Bain, Walker, Yaya going into year 4, like the excitement is out of this world for me. I cannot wait. And I think Vita's he saw what Bain and these guys were doing in like preseason and practice, and he's like, let's get a deal done, guys. he probably was like, all right, I'm ready to play. I want to like play. This is probably the best pass rusher that we're gonna have since Shaq Barrett and JPP. Hopefully, even better. We'll see. But I mean, that was a Super Bowl winning pass rushing duo. It's basically all his entire contract is fully guaranteed. It was interesting because I was thinking about making a video about Vita today. And things were starting to heat up. You were just seeing more and more reports. And usually when that happens, when you start to see quite literally like the smoke rising, you almost hold off. You're like, it sounds like something's going to happen. And then it did. Like sometimes you can just kind of read the tea leaves and you get a vibe for something. And it definitely, reached a point where it just, you got a sense that a move was going to be made. Now, what does this mean for Baker? I think this means we are not extending him. Now, a lot of people immediately on Twitter, I was saying like, okay, now next step, extend Baker. I do not think the Bucs have any intention of extending him. I thought that they were definitely, you could almost see the desperation with the front office, with Todd Bowles, and just the way that they were talking like, we can live without Baker. I don't think that we can live without Vita. And I agree to that extent. And there is a bit of a worry with Baker. It's like you don't want to have to restart, especially when we're kind of rebuilding in a sense. We're not rebuilding. Reloading is probably a better way to put it. With the pass rush, getting kind of revamped. The new linebacker duo with Trotter and Anzalone. The corner room kind of rotating in guys and out. Like we're trying to figure out what that's going to look like. The defense is shifting. That is just being molded into a new identity essentially, with whether it's gonna be with Bulls or without him next year. The offense I think has been molded for a long time now. There's a lot of guys, they've been working on this offensive line for a long time. I think our trenches are fantastic. We have both offensive line and defensive line. They've done a brilliant job of loading this up. I can't wait to see what Cansey and Vita are going to do with those two guys next to them this year. I think they're poised for a big, big season and just to cause absolute chaos on opposing offensive lines. And I'm hoping to see if we can get, our own offensive line staying at least a lot more healthy than they did last year, which was just absolute chaos as well. But again, vibes were not great going into training camp with the Baker stuff, with the Vita stuff. Now the Vita stuff is resolved, and it comes down to I think Baker's just going to have to prove it. And we'll probably make a separate video regarding that situation. I guess he's going to take it as an insult that they prioritized Vita over him. I'm a franchise quarterback. He's, an aging nose tackle. Yeah, he's an aging nose tackle who's been leading our team in sacks. And at his size, he's not supposed to be chasing down quarterbacks. He's just supposed to cause disruption. That's his role. And yet he's still getting home. He's taking down two double teams on the offensive line, which opens things up for the other guys, and those guys couldn't even get home, so he has to do it himself. He has to do all the work. And so now we're finally getting guys around him that are going to be able to really take care of business. Sorry, that's Bucky Irving. I meant to put out Bain. Bain is the real deal, and I just and maybe it's not fair for me to go that far because we haven't even seen him play yet a single snap in preseason, much less regular season. But this, and maybe I'm just imprinting this on Vita. Maybe he didn't actually do this because of Bain or the other guys. But just considering the upgrade it feels like that we have at pass rush, he wants to play. And he wants to play for the Buccaneers. The trade request is a move. It is a, something that you put in your tool belt in negotiations, been like to force the team's hand. I don't think Vita had any intention of actually being traded. I think that there's obviously the slightest possibility it happens, but the front office, they're like, yeah, we're not trading you. Like, you're gonna either play this season out and we'll figure it out next offseason, or we're gonna extend you, which they did. So we're gonna have him for this season and next season, and we'll see what I think in 2027 they'll have him play it out. I don't know if they'll extend in that time as well. I guess we'll see, but we don't have to worry about that right now. Right now, just shove that down the road. Baker talks. I would be surprised. I think that Baker said, I'm ending the talks now. Vita never said something like that. I mean, there were moments where they were like, oh, it seems like this is only going to end in a trade. But that was only people like whispering and rumoring and stuff like that. Baker did set a hard deadline. Like, when training camp starts, I'm not negotiating anymore. Some people can still feel like, okay, well, you're not negotiating, but maybe we'll talk to your agent. So maybe there's like a loophole in that kind of thing. But as of right now, I don't hate the idea of making Baker play out his contract and seeing where this team ends up record-wise and where we are in the draft order, considering the QB class that's coming in. All of that to say, like, it's a very dynamic situation. Baker has to keep himself healthier than he has. Just the whole QB situation is really interesting because now it's like, okay, there's QB2 competition going on. We'll have to talk about that in another video. Anyway, what do you guys think about the Vita Vea news? I mean, that's really what I need to hear from you guys. I'm so excited, thrilled about all of this, and share your excitement down below. I doubt anyone here is going to be upset by this. So until next video, guys, I'll see you then.